Hey y'all, thank you very much for tuning in today. Hope you're having a most excellent day today. So as you guys know, with all the virus and everything going on in the world right now, furry conventions aren't really happening around the world. There's some that's happening over in the States. I'm not sure if they really should be happening quite yet over there because it's still a bit of a shitstorm in America. But over here in the UK, unfortunately they're not happening at the moment. But instead what we're getting is the good folks over at Confuzzled decided to run a virtual Confuzzled this year. And instead of having, a physical hotel and all the, physical furry convention things going on, instead, they did it all over Twitch and Discord and places like that. So while we couldn't get our full furry convention fix on, we did get something this year, and, I'm massively appreciative for that. So I figured I'd do a quick review of my experiences at Virtual Confuzzled 2021 for you guys. So I figure I'll start on the positive note, and the first big positive for Virtual Confuzzled 2021 was the fact I didn't have to drive there. In fact, half the time I barely had to get out of bed, so that's a huge positive. But the biggest downside to this, and the one that's annoyed me the most, is no Hilton breakfast. I had to cook my own breakfast. What kind of hotel service is that? If you guys have ever been to Confuzzled in the past, you know that half the fun is the Hilton breakfast and just piling it on a huge plate and regretting it later. So let's swing back to the positives again. Some of the panels we had this year were actually really, really good. I especially enjoyed the First Science panel and Agent November's History Search. Those two top-notch, excellent panels. A close third, I'd probably say I enjoyed Shadow Raccoon's Furry YouTuber panel. That one was actually quite enjoyable too. But definitely the For Science and Agent November, I really, really enjoyed them. I'm hoping they come back for physical Confuzzled next year because those two panels were really good. But on the downside, there was no rave this year. The Twitch channel kind of cut off about 9 o'clock-ish, I think it was. And, that's usually when the rave would kick in. Get DJs on, blasting some beats, and all the furries would be getting up and dancing. Obviously, we can't do that physically, but it would have been cool if they had, a couple of live DJs going on into the wee hours, just to replicate that. Even though we're all stuck at home and not actually physically there, it would have still been cool if they could have streamed some live DJs for us. I mean, they did have some live musicians during the day, but it's not the same, man. I mean, I realise, it wouldn't be the same anyway because there'd be a bunch of loons dancing in their living rooms, but still, it would have been cool if they'd included that. But, maybe there were some restrictions I don't know about. So swinging back to the positives again, they managed to hold art auctions and, excellent sales in the dealer's den, that kind of stuff. They had the charity going on with the hashtag baby badgers, and that was most excellent. I really enjoyed the charity auction, all that kind of stuff. Definitely happy that went ahead, and so happy that Confuzzled raised so much money for the baby badgers. And seeing the dealer's den there, even though it was a virtual dealer's den and really just, linked back to the sellers' shops, they did often throw in Confuzzled codes that got you a little bit off the purchases. And me being a dumbass, I went and bought stuff and forgot to use the code. So that is a definite positive. The dealer's den, I did pick up a few things for Confuzzled. I didn't pick up the t-shirt this year just because I wasn't particularly taken by it, but yeah, definitely dealer's den, huge success this year. Really enjoyed that, even though it was completely virtual. And is there a downside to this? Well, not really. I still got to buy stuff for Confuzzled. I did miss being able to browse all the wares in a huge room full of furries. The atmosphere that you get in the dealer's den is something else, and I did miss that. But, considering our restrictions, they did a bang-up job on the dealer's den. I'm really happy with what they did. And swinging back to positives again, something they did manage to do this year, which I'm really happy with, is that even though it's based in the UK and it's a UK furry convention, because of the virtual nature to it, they managed to get a whole bunch of people in from around the world. They managed to get, like, Cassidy Civet in from over in Canada. Almost said California. Got it right this time. And on top of that, they also managed to get the First Science people in, again from Canada, I think. A lot of Canadian furries, something going on there. So we weren't just limited to what is in the UK or who can make it to the UK. Due to the virtual nature of Confuzzled, we got a lot of people coming in from all around the world. Downside to this is we still got all the Muppets from the UK coming to convention, but you can't win everything. So going forward, with the physical convention coming up next year, what do I hope that they will incorporate from the virtual Confuzzled? Well, the big one I'm thinking is having the Discord server going. Was really helpful for just chatting to random furs I've never talked to before. another big one, especially with the advent of VR chat going on and that kind of thing, is virtual panels. Especially they did like a virtual game show, which I thought was actually pretty decent. Especially when they were playing Virtual Minesweeper. I thought that was brilliant and a huge nostalgia trip. And I think if they could bring that forward into next year's convention, have virtual panels in addition to the physical panels, that would be excellent. And to be honest, I'm actually kind of hoping they do a physical Agent November next year, because I really enjoyed that. That was really entertaining. And I'm hoping that comes back for another game next year, because that top notch, dude. You guys really blew it out the park with that. Hella entertaining. Hippie Maggie Thatcher, who would have thunk it? So yeah, my views on Virtual Confuzzled. The price, nothing. Definite winner. The actual experience, out of 10, I'd say, is a decent 6 or 7. I mean, 10 being actually going to a physical furry convention, and 1 being sitting in my living room doing nothing. I'd say it's a solid 6 or 7, possibly even 8 in places. It was actually really good. Definitely worth my time. Definitely worth the 0.00 pence I spent on it. So yeah, Virtual Confuzzled, definite winner. But I am looking forward to Physical Confuzzled next year. That is going to be a blast. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this review of Virtual Confuzzled, and I hope to see every single one of you at Physical Confuzzled next year. Other than that, you all have a great day, an excellent week, a most amazing year, and I will see you in the next video. Okay, take care, ta-ra. And they got Cassidy Civet in from over in California, not California, is that country? Canada.